YouTube. It's time for another Jasmine tag, which I got the questions from InfoFlux, Christopher and Robbie. So I hope you're all doing well. I haven't been around for a couple days, so on with the tag. Let me get the questions. Number 1, do you go to church? I don't. I used to, religiously. Sorry. My grandfather was a Methodist minister. My father was a Methodist minister. 2 cousins are Methodist ministers. And there was a kind of family understanding. Now, it wasn't pressure, it was a family understanding. And in the South, understanding means you're going to do it. Okay? You don't talk back. You will do this. And so I got on my own in my 20s, and I didn't go to church unless one of my friends was performing on the organ or in the choir or a special part of a service. Then I would go to church, and I liked it very much. I did. I liked church. And then in my 30s, I had my child. And after he turned about 3, I thought he might be able to handle going to church. And so we went to church. And he did not do very well at all. Sitting in the pew, I would draw him pictures and whisper him little stories. And brought graham crackers and soda, juice boxes. And he was very loud, and he kicked the back of the pews. And I said, this child cannot handle this, so I sent him to the nursery. And I stayed at that church for years and years and years, even though Alex couldn't handle it. And then I got on this medication that my neurologist prescribed, and I couldn't wake up in the mornings to go somewhere. I could wake up enough to take care of Alex, good care of Alex, and that's all I could do. So church was out. And I never really went back except for weddings. I never even went to a funeral. Just a couple of weddings, and when I went to visit my father, because I forgot to say, I think, that my father is a minister too. And so I went to church on Sunday when I was visiting him or they were visiting us. Question 2. If you went out for a drink with friends only to find it was a setup for you to have a date with someone they fixed up, what would you say or do? Well, in the first place, my true friends would never do that to me. Okay. But if it did happen, I think I would tell the man that, and it would be a man because I only date men, that I would love to stay for the evening and enjoy myself with the whole company or all my friends or so-called friends or both. And I want him to stay and I want him to have a good time, but I would not consider it to be a date. And I would not give him my phone number unless something happened during that time that I changed my mind. So I think we would really have to have that happen if we would know for sure what I would do. Question 3. Do you have a good or a bad temper? Well, it depends on what day it is and what's happened that day. Enough said. Question 4. Do you enjoy playing or watching tennis? I used to love playing tennis in my teens, through my 20s, and I gave it up when I got pregnant, when I was 30 or something. I used to play racquetball too, and that is so much fun. I love racquetball. But right now, I enjoy watching tennis. Yeah, I like to watch it, except at a tennis club, because, 25 or 30 courts in one building, that's too much tennis. Yeah, I would hang out in the shop or go out and have a drink in the bar or drinking area, whatever you do. And I've been to a club and I didn't like it, a tennis club. And now for the final question. Question 5. What is the worst memory of school that you have? I am not going to tell you what the very, very worst memory of school. You wouldn't tell anybody either. No questions asked. You wouldn't. You just wouldn't. It was that bad. The second worst memory, I know I said in another blog, but a group of girls in my, what did they call it? It was an acting class. Oh, creative dramatics. That's what they called it. They talked me into going to the teacher and telling the teacher that this one girl we did not think it was a good idea for this girl to be in the play. But let me tell you something. None of us had any business being in that play. We all sucked. We sucked big time. But the reason they wanted me to do this was because they knew they could and I would do it. And the girl that they picked was profoundly and completely deaf. And this girl was very, very nice, and I liked her a lot. And that may have had something to do with it, but I'm not sure. It's just that these girls got more bang for their buck. They bullied 2 children in one go. So, those are my answers, Jasmine. And I hope you're having a good day, and I love you. Bye. Goodbye, YouTube.